Hello everyone! In this video, I will share with you 3 amusing stories that I found on Reddit. For context, this was about 12-ish years ago when I was in college. I was a bit of a stoner and had done Molly, MDMA, a couple times and enjoyed it. So I'm in this business class and we are supposed to do a group project, but everyone else is dicking around and I just get it done. One of my teammates, who I had been in a few classes with, thanks me and asks if there's a way he can make it up to me. I was no longer in touch with the friends who had gotten me Molly before, and I knew he hung out with party people, so I told him I'd appreciate if he could hook me up. A week or so later, we meet up on campus and he gives me some. Up until then, when I had done Molly, it was in powder form in little gel caps, which my friends made by disassembling and reassembling cinnamon capsules or something. So when I get this little baggie with crystals in it, I'm like, wait, is this actually what I think it is? My roommate had recently gone to EDC and come home a-rolling with some friends, so I went to ask for a second set of eyes. I come out to the living room to see him making out with a girl on the couch. I had never seen him talk to a girl who wasn't a platonic friend or go on a date or anything, so this was rather surprising. And I just stood there for a sec. They stopped making out because they noticed me gawking at them, and I held out the baggie and was like, hey, is this Molly? I want to be sure before I take it. He looks at her, she looks at the bag, looks at him and nods silently, and he looks at me and says, yeah, looks good. So back to my room I go. I get comfy in my bed with my fuzzy blanket, spin up my dubstep playlist, good shit like bar 9, and get ready to take it. Since it's just kind of loose in a bag, I wasn't sure the best way to get it out and make sure I got it all. I had a bottle of Diet Coke next to me and figured I could pour it all into the cap and then dump that on my tongue and it would be cleaner and I'd be less likely to spill and waste a bunch. So I do that and then pour it on my tongue. It tasted so bad, I cannot even begin to describe it. I washed it down with the soda, but it was pretty unpleasant. But then, I'm chilling, just vibing, starting to feel good. Starting to feel real good. And then my brain said, hey, we need to talk to someone. That sounds nice. So I decided to text this girl I was into. And I start texting her, and I don't stop texting her. I text her the most embarrassing shit, like how I had told my dad about her, and that I felt bad texting her while I was on drugs because I knew she didn't like drugs, and I didn't want her to dislike me, so like this was definitely a rare thing for me to do, and if she wasn't cool with it, I'd avoid doing it again, all that fun stuff. She's taking it in stride and humoring me, which was nice. After a bit, she suggests we meet up at Walmart because she's going to go shopping with her roommate who happens to be my best friend. I say yeah, because why not? And so I get ready and decide, hey, why not make this whole thing more fun and throw a butt plug in? So I do that, and it was a pretty hefty stainless steel one at that. On my way out, I stop at my other roommate's door, and the roommate who had the girl over is chilling in there and asks me how I'm feeling. So I tell them I'm feeling good, and then I start telling them about my conversation with the girl I'm into and how I said all of these embarrassing things, and I end up laughing and crying about it in the doorway. Not laughing so hard I cry, but both crying and laughing separately at the same time. They're getting a kick out of it and send me on my way. Somehow wires got crossed about the timing of all of this, and I end up way early or something. The rest of the day gets blurry from there on out as I started to come down from the most Molly I've done, but I do remember that I ended up having to go to the bathroom while I was there, which meant I had to take out the butt plug, and because I didn't have lube to put it back in, I had to wash it off, wrap it in paper towel, and shove it in my pocket. So then I'm just walking around Walmart with a heavy as hell butt plug in my pocket while I come down from the most Molly I've done and wait for my crush and best friend to arrive. So yeah, never thought I'd be posting here, but man, I need to get this off my chest. Been with my girl for 3 years and was legit saving for a ring and everything. Then her phone starts blowing up at 2 a.m. like every night. She's all, it's just work stuff, but like at 2 a.m.? Come on. I know everyone says don't go through your partner's phone, but whatever. I did it anyway, and holy crap, my life just exploded right there. Wasn't just one dude, 4 different guys. All these separate convos like pics I never want to see again, them planning hookups, and worst part, they were all joking about me. One was literally my best friend since we were kids, another was her boss, classic, our freaking neighbor from down the hall, and that gay friend she was always hanging out with who, surprise, surprise, wasn't actually gay. This had been going on for like 8 months while I'm working double shifts to save for our future and stuff. When I finally confronted her, I thought she'd at least try to deny it or cry or something. Nope. She straight up laughed and was like, "Took you long enough to figure it out." Said I was too predictable and she was bored. My so-called best friend texted later saying it wasn't personal and these things happen. Like, what the fuck, man? I just grabbed my stuff that night while she went out to clear her head, which probably meant hooking up with one of them, TBH. It's been like 2 months now. Moved to a different city, blocked all their asses, started therapy because I was messed up. Then yesterday she calls from some random number crying about how she made a huge mistake. Turns out boss dude fired her after getting what he wanted, neighbor moved away, my ex-friend got busted by his girlfriend, and the gay friend ghosted her once he got bored. She had the nerve to ask if we could work things out. I just laughed and hung up. Some things you just can't fix, and finding out your girlfriend's been living a whole secret life with 4 other dudes? Yeah, that's definitely one of them. My wife and I have been together for 13 years, and that time she has had 7 jobs. The pattern is always the same. She starts a new job, feels good about it for a short time, then the complaints begin. She says her managers don't treat her well, she sees any feedback as getting in trouble, and she feels unhappy almost every day. I've worked at 2 of the same places she did. The jobs had normal ups and downs, but nothing close to what she describes. I know work isn't perfect for anyone, but her level of stress and frustration seems far beyond what most people deal with. She is always looking for a new job, and each time she starts somewhere new, she believes it will be different. It never lasts more than a few months before things go back to the same place. I want to support her, but I'm starting to feel worn down. I listen, I try to give advice, and I try to help her see things in a balanced way. Nothing seems to help. I'm worried that if this cycle continues, it will take a toll on both of us. I don't know how to talk to her about this without sounding dismissive or unsupportive. I also don't know how to set boundaries so I can support her without carrying all of her stress.